Hey everybody, welcome to my 2022 Awakened Musa guide. As usual, this guide is only going to cover the Awakened spec of Musa, as I do not play the Succession spec, and I do not plan on playing it any time in the future, so this is only going to be for you Awakened Musa players. As you can tell, this video isn't as long as my traditional videos that are like an hour to 2 hours long. The reason for that being is that I feel that Musa will probably receive some changes here within the next upcoming weeks, maybe in a few months. So at some point I plan on making a more in-depth, lengthy guide showing you everything I know, going into details I usually do, giving you a lot of PvP examples. But this one should suffice for quite a while and hopefully help you guys out, give you a general idea of how the class is performing right now and what you need to do. But yeah, as always, if you have any questions or any feedback you want to give, whatever it may be, feel free to voice it out in the comments or hit me up in Discord DMs, or even catch me on my live stream, and I'll try to answer everything to my best of my ability to help you all out. So never feel like you're bothering me or anything. I'm never doing too much, so just hit me up whenever. For those who may not know, I've played this class for about 5 years since its release. I've won both official and community tournaments. I've played at the highest level of PvP in both Node Wars and Siege, so I'd like to think that I'm a pretty experienced player. I've seen a lot, I've played a lot, I've done a lot, and I feel like I can give you all some pretty good advice, combos, guides, whatever it may be. So I think I can help you guys out here. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the guide. First thing, we are going to take a look at our skill tree for both main and awakening here. We'll start off with the pre-awake kit. Slice, I believe this gets maxed out for you, Slice X, and then you'd have to take the absolute, but you don't really need to take that. Backstep Slash, that's just something I take personally for like 1v1s and stuff for another slow, but not something you need to prioritize as you have one step back now in awake for a slow. Blind Thrust, you're going to want to take absolute Blind Thrust, still a skill that we use quite a lot. Nemesis Slash, you don't need this. Blind Slash is a quick CC that I like to take. You can use it out of a few skills like Dragon Bite into Blind Slash like that for quick float. And out of a few other things. Whirlwind Cut, you don't need to take this, but you will want to lock this, and I'll show you why here shortly. Carver, I don't take. You don't need Whirlwind Cut. Cyclone. Gale, you can take this. You don't really use Gale combos anymore. They're not really that good. However, they did put 10 AP onto Gale now for a buff. I think it's kind of a pretty pointless change. It's not really worth going into pre-awake and using Gale for the 10 AP buff. Dragon Bite, you want to take absolute Dragon Bite. You do not need any of the flows, they aren't good. Rising Storm, you want to take absolute Rising Storm. You want to take Cyclone Slash here, you want to get that. For your arrows here, I have everything, but right now I have my my charged shot locked, and I'll probably just lock this too, the evasive shot. I haven't gotten too comfortable and familiar with using the new arrows. Stub Arrow, you want to take this though, absolute Stub Arrow. You want to take the double shot so that you have an extra arrow. Blooming, this is preference, as I tell you guys all the time. If you want to use the full Blooming for more damage, or you just want the level 1 Blooming for a quick stun like that you can move out of, I still use level 1 for everything. Musa Spirit, you're going to want to max this, take the absolute. Block, you don't really need to take this. I lock it as well. If you unlock it, then you will get a forward guard counter attack like this whenever you unlock that. Chase, you're going to want to max your chase out. Kicks, the only kick that I take is absolute roundhouse kick. I have the base kick locked. Tiger Blade is good for running away and stuff when you're low and like Node Wars or whatever else. Open world. Passives, max all your passives. You're going to want all of this. Make sure you lock your rage transfer, and you want to lock the right Z buff so that you take the common one. And other than that, lock your roll, and that is it for the pre-awake. Okay, now if we take a look at the awakening kit here, you're basically going to want the entire kit. Starting at the top here, Musa's Soul. This is our new E buff. It has 30 AP, 50% all resistance, 15% melee accuracy, 20% movement speed. It is a pretty good E buff now. Really good. Movement speed's really crazy. It's basically like getting yourself a speed spell from a witch or wizard that you can use on demand every 3 minutes. Really nice. The shift Q here, you're going to want to take this. This is a big stun. This got buffed for our class. The cooldown went down from like, I think like 18 or 20 seconds or something. It's down to 9 seconds. So you can use this quite a lot now, and it's really good in PvE for pulling mobs. Really good to pick this up as soon as you can at 57. This is the Elvia skill. If you're grinding Elvia and you get a weapon, You can use the LV skill. It's pretty good. Like one-shots packs whenever you have a weapon. You don't need to take that for anything else, though. It's only usable on the LV servers when you have a weapon. Counter assassination here, Q. You're going to want to take this. Twister. Spinner. You don't need to max this early on, but just take a point into it. Dash slash, you're going to want to take that. You're going to want to max Fiery Crevice. This is probably the best skill in our kit right now. Crosscut. You're going to want to take Crosscut and max that. Backflow. You're going to take Backflow. Projection. Extra credit. You're going to want both of these. Your Crust Crusher and your Foul Play. You're going to want to take that. Below the belt. You're going to take that as well. Every single skill here is going to be usable. One step back, Fiery Angel, Inferno slash, Eradicate. This is your accuracy buff here. One step back is our new slow in a weight kit. It's on a 5-second cooldown. Super armor slow, really good skill. And then for the core skill or the bond, I use Fiery Crevice. I don't think there's a point of using anything else unless a change is made. Fiery Crevice is just the go-to. It makes this skill become basically the best skill in your kit when you take the core. So you'll have an AoE CC debuff, which will be super armor. Take a look at Rabams here. There's really no reason to use any of the other ones ever. Use Ultimate Musa Spirit here. This will give you crit and a magic DP buff. All these pop-ups, sorry about that. But that's on a 20-second cooldown. This is really good. It gives you a heal. Quick Shot. Hasn't changed after all the arrow changes. It's still a good range CC, good debuff. And then Storm Slash. You can use this for combo filler, PvE filler. Really quick skill, and you can see swap in and out of it really fast. For add-ons, this is what I'm using in PvE. I've been using these for a few days now, both on the seasonal servers and on my main Musa at places like Sakraya and Red Orcs and Elvia. On Crust Crusher, this is our tier 3 add-on. I take 30 monster damage and 10% attack speed. I think that's probably the best thing you can take on there by far. On Fiery Crevice, I have 20 monster AP, 7% attack speed. Below the belt, we have 20% critical hit rate and 7% movement speed. The movement speed's nice because we scale pretty fast with movement speed. We start moving really quick when we have that on our chase and our skills. So having the movement speed up for PvE is good as well. Allows you to move pack to pack more quickly to get more trash loot per hour. Dash Slash, I take minus 15 DP and 3% down attack damage. Dash Slash already has the incorporated 20 DP, so with 15 on top of that, that's minus 35 for the pack of mobs you're hitting. On Backflow, I'm just taking back attack damage 3% and 3% critical hit damage. And on Eradicate, I have 4+ accuracy and minus 4% evasion rate to the targets that I hit. This is our accuracy buff once again, 9%. There are some other add-ons you can take. I've seen some people using like a one step back. I think is really good for an add-on if you want to use that. You really can't go wrong with PvE add-ons though, so don't give it too much mind or think too hard about it. You really can't go wrong. Just put, attack speed, monster damage, critical hit rate, minus DP on stuff, and you can't go wrong. I mean, in PvE on this class, you're using a lot of skills. You're just spamming all your abilities, so you're gonna have all your buffs up most likely regardless. And just pack to pack. The only thing you got to keep in mind is just keeping your self buffs up. Your crit buff, your attack speed from Crosscut. Your crit's coming from either blind thrust still if you want to use that, or an awake spinner. But yeah, a lot of different options. You can even move these around on different skills. This is just what I use. And just keep in mind what I said. You really can't go wrong. So just find the skills you're using in PvE, slap some good add-ons on there, and you'll be good to go. You just have to rotate your skills in different ways. This is really strong. You don't need any kind of crit on here, critical chance that is, for Crust Crusher, because your natural follow-up is Foul Play, which is a 100% critical chance skill. So the goal here is to get a really big damage add-on so that Foul Play hits even harder. So you hit the Crust Crusher, you land it on a target, and the Foul Play is going to be amplified with another 15 human damage and 5% critical hit damage. Fiery Crevice, I take 7% attack speed and minus 15 DP. And then let's skip below the belt for a second. And on Dash Slash, I take the exact same thing. Now, the reason I take these is because of the openers that I'm going to tell you about here further on in the video. Two of your really good openers are using like BSR 10% Dash Slash, or even just regular Dash Slash, or Fiery Crevice. Both of these are going to be KDs, putting your target on the ground, and then are going to follow up with the rest of your kit after that. So no matter what you're using for your opener, either Dash Slash or Fiery Crevice, you're going to get that minus DP on your targets, and you're going to be faster in your combo with 7% attack speed. So that's something I think is pretty necessary for how I play. You can switch it up or try some other things depending on how you play and what you're doing. On below the belt, I take 10 human damage, 7% movement speed. This is one of your core trading skills, and you're going to use it in every SA trade combo in large-scale PvP. Every time you use it, you're going to get 10 human damage, and you're going to move faster to be able to chase targets or disengage quicker. So pretty good to have the movement speed on there, and the human damage does help a little bit. Backflow, I have 15 DP on this and 20% critical hit rate. You can switch this out. You can use like a one step back add-on if you'd like. A lot of people are using this. Just throw whatever you want on there. I think that's a good add-on as well. I choose to use Backflow, but that's just me. That's just my play style. I use that more in the SA trade combo, and I think it's easier for me to get better buffs out of that. Eradicate, I have the same thing as my PvE add-on. I have plus 4% accuracy rate and minus 4% evasion for the target. I just think it makes sense putting it on our AC buff skill. And really not much else to say here. I have been thinking of using projection as an add-on as well. I just don't know what I would give up because I feel like dash slash, below the belt, fire crevice, and crust crusher are pretty necessary. Just for the large scale PvP kit. And then maybe like Eradicate and Backflow, you can move around with some other things. But the way projection works now, since it pierces through targets and it's a long range Stub Arrow like skill, you can put something on here like a tier 2 add-on and just throw this from ranged and receive a buff. So I could throw this into a pack of people that I'm really far away from and receive 20% crit rate, 7% attack speed as an example, or anything else. There's a lot of different options, but this is just what I'm using right now for PvP add-ons. Once again, I tell you guys all the time, it's really hard to go wrong with add-ons most of the time. Just put good buffs that you need, critical chance, extra damage, minus DP, attack speed on the skills that you were using in your core combos, and you will be fine. I'm going to show you all now my PvE combo. I've been using this and it's very strong, very fast, and it is also repeatable and pretty easy to learn. It's going to start off with spinner, so acquire your spinner buff however you would like. There are many ways to get that while moving towards your targets pack to pack. You can get it in Fire Angel and then put spinner like that. You can get it forward chasing with an auto attack or backward chasing with an auto attack. Just acquire that spinner buff however you would like, and then you're going to chain into Crosscut, dash slash, and then you're going to do the first hit of Eradicate and then cancel it with a one step back, and then Backflow, Fiery Crevice, and then below the belt into Inferno Slash because Inferno Slash comes out quicker from below the belt, and then Crust Crusher into Foul Play. And then at the end of the string, you will be able to repeat basically the entire combo again because most skills will be off cooldown, or you can just throw in filler if necessary if the monsters are still alive. So full speed, this is what this is going to look like. That's going to be the combo. As you can see, almost everything will be back off CD, and then like my Inferno Slash and Crust Crusher will come back up probably by the time I repeat with like one step back, dash slash, and like Eradicate again. So if we do the filler part now where I just input the string again, I'll show you what that looks like full speed once more. Just like that. And you can even fit in like Inferno Slash again from something, or go back into Crust Crusher Foul Play. But very, very strong combo, and it's repeatable, very easy to learn. Keeps all your buffs up, all your add-ons, and it's a lot of damage. Okay, now for those of you who just want an efficient way to grind like lower end spots where you're killing the mobs in like 1 to 2 skills, you don't really need combos. They're not necessary at all. Basically, you just want to one shot and hit as many of the mobs in a pack as you can, and then keep your speed. So you want to be like chasing and moving pack to pack so that you can get the most trash loot, most money per hour, XP, whatever you're doing. Very easy to do on this class. This class is very efficient at low end grind spots because it's just a quick class. So with the low CDs of many of our abilities, you can just do a few things like this. I'll try to voice it out for you. So let's start off. Let's say I'm at like Polyforest, right? So I go to one pack, we're gonna below the belt, go to another, we're gonna fire crevice, another dash slash, another we can eradicate, crosscut, another we can go here, we can backflow, another here, fire crevice, OSB, dash again, below the belt, dash again, we can do dash slash into crosscut, another pack, fire crevice into OSB, another one, eradicate into dash slash, another pack below the belt, another pack, crosscut into backflow, we can do like another crosscut into fiery OSB, keep dashing, eradicate, dash slash here, below the belt, Very, very simple. You can keep rotating these large, massive circle AoE skills in a lot of places. That's why we grind like polys and mansions very efficiently, more than a lot of classes, because we can one-shot them and move pack to pack very quickly, just rotating these huge AoEs that we have on our kit. They're going to keep coming off cooldown very quickly, as you can see here, just moving across the area. So that's basically all you need to do at low-end grind spots when you're leveling up. Just one-shot the packs as quick as you can. Try not to leave too much trash loot behind, depends on your pets, but you'll have good success with just throwing your abilities out on CD and moving pack to pack like that. Let's talk about our pre-buffs now. Some new pre-buffs we have on our kit now. We have Spinner, which is now critical hit rate. So before on Musa, you had to always go into pre-awake and use blind thrust right here to receive our 30% critical rate buff. Now, if you want to, you can just stay in awake and get it all the time with Spinner. And it has the same Spinner inputs as the old ones, where you would use Spinner for your attack speed buff. The attack speed buff has been moved on to Crosscut. So Crosscut now gives you 10% attack speed on use on 5-second cooldown. So you just input Crosscut, and there you go, 10% attack speed. As I said, all of the old Spinner animation cancels and hidden inputs give you the crit buff. So you can do Fire Angel into Spinner, 30% critical rate. You can do the Spinner things out of Chase, so I can like backwards chase and then forward auto attack into S, L, and B like this. And that'll give me 30% crit rate. I generally advise people to do whatever you think is the quickest and safest method if you're in PvP. So like if you're trying to engage people, like you can stay out of combat, get your buffs like this, and then you're good to go for both of those. Eradicate is going to be your 9% accuracy rate buff. So press Eradicate like that. You can use it out of combat, or you can use it in your combos so that you get the 9% accuracy. You don't have to wait for the second hit. You can use the first hit and then chase out of it. However, you can't forward chase out of it, unfortunately. You have to backwards chase. You still have your other buffs. You have Shift X. This will give you DP here, 15 magic DP. It'll also heal you and give you the 30% crit rate buff that Blind Thrust or Spinner gives us. And you also have good old Rising Storm for 20 DP. If you'd like to, and you'd like to preserve your like your buffs in awake, I mean, you can still always like be sitting in pre-awake, get your buffs this way, you know, C-swap, do everything good to go, and then you can engage your opponents or go fight however you'd like. But just keep in mind, for Spinner, you always have a lot of different things you can use. You can use it out of below the belt, input Spinner there. There's my 30% crit rate. You can even use it after Fiery Crevice. Do this in S, L, and B, boom. Lots of different ways you can choose to take it for PvE and for PvP. Okay, let's talk about how you can stay safe on Musa. We have pretty good forward guard lingers and super armor lingers. Our forward guard lingers are going to be mainly like your C-swaps. So if I forward or backward or side C-swap, I will get this forward guard state where I have this shield, and your block gauge will be applied to any incoming attacks within a frontal cone area of your character. So I will have this lingering forward guard effect until my blade is brought to my waistline here. So if we look at that again, if I do backwards or forward, it does not matter. Once I bring that blade here to my waistline, the forward guard effect will end. With Awakening, it's once I bring my blade down to my knee here, so my right knee. So if I go from pre-awake into forward awake swap, all this is forward guard, comes to my knee, and then it's over. So generally what you want to do is you want to move after that or go into another type of linger. So if I'm in pre-awake, let's do that again. I go into awake, forward guard, and then I go into crosscut, and let's say I linger my super armors, right? Now let's look at your super armor lingers. So first one being is crosscut here. These are all going to have the same lingering animation, so it's very easy to learn. Once my blade goes to my right knee here again, my super armor linger state is over. Below the belt is the exact same thing, exact same linger. And then if we go into backflow, it is exactly the same, as you can see there. These are very useful for baiting opponents or just staying safe if you don't want to blow stamina or use movement skills or anything else in combat. A lot of good things you can do. Linger stuff, move around. And you can buy yourself quite a lot of time to do stuff or analyze, you know, the area around you. In whatever kind of like PvP you're in, so you can, you know, figure out what you're going to do next, whatever your next move is going to be. Some things to take note of. Super armor here. This does not protect you from grabs, so you probably don't want to be lingering super armors in front of people that can just grab you. If I'm standing still, you know, you can take damage. So super armor doesn't it doesn't have the block effect, so I can be fully hit and debuff when I'm in these super guard states. If I want to block attacks and debuff, such as like a blizzard, you know, I can put this here. I can like block any kind of projectile like fireball or any kind of like other attacks coming at me with my block, and the debuff won't be applied as long as I'm blocking that attack. A few other good things to take note of is our S block. When we are in awakening stance, if I'm holding S, just keeping my finger on S here, I'm in that forward guard blocking state here. However, when you get hit, you're going to do your counter assassination forward animation. So if you're at a standstill with it. So I try not to S block too much because you're not really moving that much. I like to just eat stuff with my forward guard C swaps like this while I can keep moving, or I like to just keep repositioning myself, you know, with chases or with super armor movement to the side. And pre-awake, you have a block if I hold Q down. However, if I dash and hold Q, you can see it kind of takes a second for my guard to go up here. You can do it a lot quicker if you input left click when you do this. So it's going to look like this. Every time I'm dashing, I'm pressing left click with Q. So I can bring my block up almost instantaneously by doing this, moving around your target. And this is a very good thing to do. It's a lot quicker than going into your dash and then going to your block. You can go into this a lot quicker, and then it allows you to do a lot more movement. A few new things that happen to our kit, some cool little tricks here. If you lock Whirlwind Cut in your pre-awake kit here, if you lock this, if you input A or D, LMB, you'll go into Crosscut from pre-awake, which is a pretty cool change. Probably something you're going to be doing a lot of combos now that dash slash is a knockdown. So a lot of our 1v1 combos, or just comboing in general, changed because this went from a non-CC skill, just a down smash, into a knockdown now. So a lot of those combos that incorporated dash slash from the pre-awake kit into the follow-up combo, they're changed around now because this is actually a CC. So being able to go into pre-awake like right after a blind thrust or something, or right after a dragon bite, is pretty cool. And it also allows us to get our 10% attack speed buff now. Another thing, if you are pre-awake blocking, so I'm using my block here, if you input A or D left click, you'll see that I go into counter assassination from pre-awake. So if I'm in the target's face and I do this, I'll go straight into awake. However, our Q no longer CCs. This is a debuff now, so 25% attack speed and cast speed debuff. I haven't used this too much yet, only some matchups have I been messing around with this. Being able to just quickly go into my Q like that and then do something out of it, but it is another method for going into awake from pre-awake. So that's just going to be, as you can see on my key input to the left, just any direction I am, it's going to be left click with our movement when I'm pressing Q. Let's take a look at some of our CCs now within the awake kit. If we take a look here, we have Fire Crevice, which is going to be a knockdown. When you take the core on this, this is going to be a super armor KD. So we press F, we have a large AoE knockdown CC. Dash slash, as I said before, is a knockdown now. So you can hotbar this skill and you'll be able to knock down opponents. The AoE got increased. Pretty good skill, pretty good CC. However, that is going to be unsafe. Our projection and extra credit are now stiffnesses from long range. So if I hit a target from far away like this, that's going to stiffen. And I can use extra credit independently now from projection. The cooldown is not shared or linked together. You can use both of those now. They're kind of like a stub arrow from awake. Your stub arrows in pre-awake are still going to be okay. However, the first one is going to be slow. If you see, if you were used to playing the class before, we used to be able to use instant stubs from back chase. Your first arrow is going to have that slight delay. It's a bit clunky and slow to use, so you're more likely to get CC'd or caught when doing that. However, the following arrows you use are going to be instant. It's just that first one. So I haven't messed around with the tech, as I said, on the arrows too much, but there might be some things where you can, you know, maybe from distance blow one of your arrows so that you have the arrow cooldown come up. So like, let's say I just like use an arrow from ranged. Now I have 2 more arrows in my quiver, right, on this cooldown, 1 minute to use them, and then I'll be able to use the other 2 quite quickly. That's probably how I'm going to start using the skill. There might be some better methods in the future, but I still need to mess around with the kit some more to figure it out. Awakening, we still have some other skills too. Shift Q obviously is going to be a stun. Really good stun there. It's on a low cooldown. Your Crust Crusher got turned into a down smash. However, we got a full forward guard now between this and foul play. Your projection extra credit, as I said, will be long range stiffs, but up close, they will be a float. So you can still use it in the same application you did before with using projection from pre-awake or up close to float your targets. And that is really it as far as our CCs go here in Awake. Okay, how can we follow up on our long range CCs? So if we're catching people with arrows, double dash and a dragon bite is still nice. Arrow into quick shot into the same thing, like a blind thrust, and then maybe a crosscut into some kind of float, or a knockdown with dash slash are good follow-ups from pre-awake kit on those catches. Catching people, let's say like we hit these blind thrusts, right? Like we're blind thrusting a target, we're dragon biting a target, whatever we may be doing, we're floating them from pre-awake. We can move into our awake kit from things now. So if I'm like forward blind thrusting someone, I notice I get the stiff. You know, you can go straight into awake now, and we can like dash slash below the belt, fire your crevice, one step back. You know, a lot of different things you can do. The kit does a lot of damage. A lot of those really extensively long combos aren't really necessary anymore versus most targets, especially people on DR. You're just going to destroy them for the most part. Many ways to follow up on your projection catches. If we're moving around and we're getting a catch with this, we can fire angel into spinner. That's going to apply stun, and then we can like KD them from there. You know, you can do stuff from there. Extra credit, the same thing. We can like do this. We can fire angel into a fire crevice for a CC. Many things you can do. You can simply just dash and then like dash slash people. We can do this, dash slash, you know, go into different things like that. A lot of different things you can do. Obviously, you still have access to the Shift Q CC, so like you can get catches, go straight into this, Shift Q, do this. You know, a lot of different combos here. I'll talk about a few here later on, but these are just some ways you can follow up on a lot of your catches with the kit. Things to keep on your hotbar, potentially going to be Eradicate, Projection, Storm Slash, and Dash Slash. I don't really keep anything else on my hotbar other than those things. Using Dash Slash allows you to use it, obviously. As the standalone input, you have to do that. I put Projection on a key, and then I bind this to one of my side mouse buttons so that I can use it from pre-awake or just on demand. So I can be in pre-awake doing this, and then I can like backdash into a Projection from long range, and then be in my awake kit. It's pretty useful, especially when you're comboing people up close in pre-awake, and you want to do something from that. Pretty useful to have. Eradicate, I like to use this from hotbar rather than the input. The input is forward E. I'm just not a fan of it. I like using it from my hotbar so that I don't misinput it as well. But once I get more used to it, I might use the actual input, but that's just a personal preference. And then, as I said in PvE, if you take the Elfius skill, you're going to need to quick slot hotbar this as well. For PvP combos here, not all of these are going to be like the best, you know, highest DPS PvP combos you can do. I'm just showing you guys some examples of how you can play off your CCs and your catches. You know, even after the rework, it stayed true that Musa can really like just freestyle with your combos and choose to kill your opponent however you want, depending on your catches. You know, you have stiffs, you have floats, you have stuns, you have knockdowns, you have a lot of down smashes now. So there's a lot of cool short combos, fast DPS combos you can do, and a lot of long down smash extension combos you can do. So I'm gonna show you guys a few of those here in some clips, and honestly, just have fun when you're playing the class, when you're comboing and killing people. Kill them however you want. Try to have some style with it, you know. Just have fun with the class. But I will type out some of these combos in the description for you as well. So if you'd like it in the like the word form, like showing all the skills like spinner and crosscut and whatever else. So I'll type that out for you so it's easier to see and learn. For Node War Siege and 1vx combos, you probably only really want to lead with like one of 3 skills right now, just with how the kid is playing. Shift Q being one of them, depending on the situation. If you feel like you can get that off safely or have a big opportunity to CC a lot of opponents, that can be really good. It's quick. You can do Fiery Crevice just straight out of a dash like this, or you can go into Fiery Crevice from Fiery Angel, because this is now a super armor movement skill with no target collision. So you can actually just go through a bunch of players. So like I can just phase through all these players and then like press F over here and CC these people with Fiery Crevice. Another good opener is using the 10% dash / BSR. So let's say like I come in from out of combat or out of like render range for some people, I'm dashing in, 10% BSR, I do something like that and I'm out of there, and then I still have E buff, and then, you know, I can come back in and do something else. Can do the same thing. I can do this, you know, and then we're out of there. There's a lot of different things you can do. If you do have a lot of targets around your back or like in front of you and you have something to your back, let's say like I have a wall here, depending on like the terrain, then you can get off Crust Crushers more safely because you have a full forward guard cone on this now, so you can commit safely to your entire foul play. Both these are going to be down smashes, so down smash and a down smash. So if people are on the ground, they're going to do a lot of damage too, with that foul play being 100% crit with a lot of hits on it. But right now, how the class is being played, because it's so easy, all your engage is just super armor. You just hold R and B, and then it's your choice of like going into Fiery Angel to gap close quicker, and then choosing your CC. So the full protected combos, like just going into this, Fiery Crevice, you know, and like use some stuff like that, like OSB at the end, or you can use OSB right after the Crevice or right after the below the belt, and it'll be quite a bit faster. So if I do this, below the belt, and then throw like another wave out of backflow like that, but try to be on top of players or as close to them as you can with your AoE, so that you get the most damage out of them and all your hit supply. We're going to talk about gearing here for a little bit. This is my gear on live servers currently. I'm at C13 Libras and Muskins with a C20 Helmet of Heave and a Duo Fallen God. My crystals are pretty standard for an evasion build. I have special evasions in here. I have the new Bond ones. I'm trying to get the Jin ones for an extra 50 HP, but they're pretty hard to get your hands on right now. I have Jin Vipers in the Libras. I have 2 corrupted crystals in my Kudum here. And in my Black Star, for PvE, I have these tag. I have the Glorious Crod Crystals. If you can't get these, the regular Crod Crystals are just as good for PvE. If you're grinding human damage spots, or you're just a PvP player in general, you want to run these Lucas here, unless you like the Han Hum setup that some people use. But I'm not a fan of putting these into the Awake Wep. I think you can get a lot better stats running these new Gallantry Crystals. I have the Black Star just because I'm working on a second pen Black Star, because my main hand is a pen. Most of the time, if you're a PvE player, I just recommend you go with like a Crescent Blade, Dandy Crescent Blade that is, and then you have these in here for the damage. In my shoes, I don't have these. I actually have Adamantines, which I want to get rid of. They're not very good on Musa. I had them in there because I've been playing my hash on the evasion spec, which is a lot better than evasion on Musa. But people run like Red Battlefield Histories here for human damage if you're doing that kind of build, or even Han Hums like this with the helmet for DR, which is either Griffin or a Heave, whatever you're running. Griffin or Gieth, my bad, not Griffin or Heave. So if we put this to the DR build, this is what I recommend for most players. So you want to try to work towards this if you're like someone who's fresh into seasonal, coming out of seasonal, or you're someone that's just probably below like C9's 660 gear score in general. You want to play Musa on a DR Nuver spec for sure. It is going to be a lot better. I think it just fits the kit, the play style. Right now it's like a fast bomber class, quick SA trading class where you're just going in and out, and having more high damage is going to benefit you for the play style. So I think DR is the way to go. Even at my evasion build that I just showed you, I get popped and die in like 2 hits. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. The types of players that I'm fighting, there's just so much damage in the game that my evasion on Musa, even with the new 10% passive, just doesn't really matter. So it'd be more favorable for me to have more damage in a DR kit. So I do want to try DR on both my Musa and my hash just to see how it is here soon. But definitely try to work towards this. You want pen Begs, you want pen Uragons, you want a pen Griffin, and then your crystals are probably going to be like pretty similar to this. Jin Vipers are going to stay the same. Corrupteds will stay the same in the Nuver. These awake crystals are fine. If you're running the Hanhums, you want to have those in both the shoes and the helmet, or in the awake web. Some people do that. I'm not a fan of that though, as I said. Human damage build would be like with the history is here, running like the Harfie is in the helmet. Some people even go, you know, the full way and do like red battlefield Kobe's here, but you're going to be significantly squishier running a full human damage build, but you will do more damage. So a lot of different things you can play around with, but I recommend DR unless you can go beyond like Pen Kudum's C13 evasion gear with maybe even like a Sissels in there, if you can have really high AP with one just to be tankier. But I think DR is the way to go with gearing. All right, lastly, to wrap everything up here, just wanted to thank you all for all the support on my channel and my stream. And if this guide was helpful, you know, feel free to leave a comment, leave a like, whatever it is. As I said before, you know, any questions, concerns, comments you have, just go ahead and voice them, and I'll try to you know, respond to you guys as quickly and in the best way that I can. But yeah, I do apologize for the mic pops. As I went back through a lot of my clips, I had some mic problems and I couldn't resolve it and fix it. So I've been having some problems with my microphone recently. I'll probably just end up getting another one or something else. I don't really know, but appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully this was helpful. As I said before, if we receive any big changes here in the upcoming future, I will make a updated guide that'll be more in-depth and thorough. But yeah, so don't worry about that. Everything else, links and all that will be in the description for my community Discord, my Twitch, any, you know, combo strings, links, whatever else. But yep, wish you guys the best of luck.